I was always a nerd, like, you know, math and science, always loved it, full-heartedly owned it, but probably up until like middle school, I've always loved math, and then it stopped loving me back, and that's the best way to explain it. And so I got to algebra, and it was a whole nother thing. But once I was in geometry and trig, anything I could see or conceptualize, you know, put my hands together and like started making sense tangible-wise, I could kick it, right? Like, man, I got into it. But then my freshman year in high school, actually, and I was telling you guys I went to 3 different high schools, they had a drafting class. Well, in Texas, you only had like band, choir, and like art. Well, over there, they literally had a book full of stuff. You could take auto, you could take shop, you could take drafting. And I was like, oh, I want to take auto. Like, oh my God, I've always wanted to take auto. My mom was like, well, take drafting first so you could actually understand this stuff that's happening in auto. I was like, okay, fine. So I took drafting, and lo and behold, one of very few girls, I think I was one of 2 at the time. I had a professor, Mr. Aikenhead, who I'll never forget. But it was just absolutely amazing to learn how to tape your paper down. And we literally did hand instrument drafting with like T-squares and scales and triangles. And, you know, my sister is an artist, and I grew up like can't even draw stick people. So to be able to like, you know, do a figure and 3D modeling, you know, of an isometric view, and you could understand what I was, you know, depicting for you, I just had this incredible sense of power and like, oh my God, I can create anything. And he would obviously encourage us to be very creative and come up with stuff. But, you know, again, top view, side view. And it was just amazing to me. And so I was like, man, what can I do like for the rest of my life to do this kind of stuff? So he's like, well, architecture, engineering. He's like, I would say engineering because architecture gets kind of boring. So the more I asked him, well, what is engineering? Well, what is that? And so he would kind of, you know, just say, oh, there's civil engineering, bridge, and da-da-da. And you could tell he was obviously more geared towards, as a pun intended, but more geared towards mechanical engineering. And so he was saying, yeah, well, you want to do auto, and that kind of stuff is this stuff. And so I was like, man, like, that's what I want to do. So since my freshman year, I just absolutely fell in love with it. Yeah, and ever since then, that's what I wanted to do.